how do you assess the regime comparatively?
Well, you see, the incumbent regime, during which period this corruption perception index are produced and the verdicts that come with them, must have the courage to accept the challenge. These are credible institutions that come out with very credible indicators of what you are doing relative to the fight against corruption. I've been a student of this research findings since it began. And I know how we have dealt with it within the political framework, where we try to score points, either in the name of this party or this government as against the other one. That has, in a way, complicated the need to bring clarity to bear on it.
One is good, they are good to issue statements to praise themselves.
Exactly, and we can have thousands of examples here. You know, there were times even the Kufuor administration even had problems with the CDD. I'm sure you remember over some of those things, you know, because Mr. Kufuor's view was that it's just perception. It means nothing. You know, we've had the same thing subsequently. But the key point is for the administration to accept the challenge that things are not going the right way, and that whatever you are doing is insufficient in curing this corruption challenge. That is the first thing. And then we come to some practical matters. And it's good you are stated here, the RTI Act. What's happening? I know the commission, they're supposed to set up some commission. Yes. I know there are efforts in that direction because there's a lady friend of mine who is a seasoned journalist who apparently has been invited to be part of that process. But it's not visible. It's not transparent. Nothing is happening.
It's not set up yet.
Yes.
It shouldn't take 1 year after the law's implementation has been delayed by one other year.
Thank you.
To set it up.
I agree.
There are issues with it. But anyway,
I don't know all those issues, but could you, if you know, you provide. But the point really is that the inertia is unacceptable. Yeah. That's the bottom line. It's delayed. We don't see anything. We don't hear anything. So then you are killing the spirit of the RTI Act.
People apply for information and they still are forced to go to court for the court to force.
Yeah. Yes, that is what is the most disappointing.
Like it happened to the Electoral Commission.
Yes, so to be honest, it's a minus there. It doesn't matter the good intentions. It doesn't matter the good efforts that may be underway. We haven't seen the results relative to that particular one. So it's a minus. And government must be courageous to accept that. If you accept that deficit, it helps in you making an effort to cure the mischief. Same with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Some of us who were ardent advocates of that particular legislative, entity, putting it in terms of the law, to be honest, where is the visibility, where is the transparency, where is the product in terms of outcome? Okay, a simple case, well, I shouldn't say a simple case, I may be undervaluing it, but the Galamsey investigation by Tiger Eye.
Over how many months?
Yes, it's been there. At one stage, there was even a running battle between the CID and the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And I was on the side of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, because that's where the complaint had been lodged. Yeah. What is the status of that investigation? We don't hear anything. We don't see anything. That is a minus. See, the issue of the investigations.
The PPA,
well, that's a Shraj, but we don't hear anything.
Yeah, and one not there,
There's one at Shraj, and there's one before the Special Prosecutor.
See, that is the key point. Government should set up that allegations are made, investigations are made, you direct the things to appropriate institutions. But if nobody is saying anything, and if there is nothing happening, it's as if you're doing nothing at all. And you ought to take the blame for that situation. It doesn't matter. You have to. See, we are talking about the declaration of assets and liabilities regime. How long has it been in Parliament? It started with civil society groups, somewhere 2005. All sorts of things were put together. It's in Parliament. Nobody knows what is happening. It takes so long, so it loses its value. On paper, it's so beautiful, so nice.
The thing is that when one parliament dies, the process completely
again. They
ends.
have that.
They have that all over again.
It's almost a culture.
You have to go for those meetings and get per diems and all of that all over again at the expense of the taxpayer.
Yes, and you see, there are also instances of issues that were subject to investigations. You have the Australian visa thing. I just don't understand the system sometimes. People have been asking, CID, you finish your investigations. What is the outcome?
I thought the president had told us the outcome.
What did he say?
About, particularly relative to
one person. To one person. Significant though, because he was a deputy minister who was suspended. But what is making this report unpublishable? Transparency, light. There's a copy of the report. And the actions the police are the intent taken, that also has kept a bit long, because they're now seeking mutual legal assistance from the Australian government. And all the letters are here. People's reputations are still at stake. There are people who don't believe anything that has been said relative to the deputy minister.
That's right.
How do you cure that? Make this report transparent. Get the things you are asking from Australia. Have you received them? Give us status reports. That's what you do. But it's still in the public space. BNI set up an investigations. Ministry of Energy did, and bots itself. Their reports are available. Make them public. Make those reports public. Then if there are findings and recommendations, seek to implement them. Otherwise, look, the perception will remain a reality. Indeed, it's a reality virtually. Because nobody is seeing action. PDS, all the things surrounding it. It wasn't a tidy process, in my candid opinion. At the end of the day, the Ghanaian government and the US government even clashed.
Right.
And that for me was good, that we took a stand. It doesn't mean we're totally blameless in terms of the processes. People are asking questions, especially relative to the revenue aspect. Make it public.
Then there were allegations of fraud.
Yes, and indeed there was fraud.
Beyond allegations,
from the
allegations, those have been confirmed.
Yes, yes.
By our own side of the team.
This is the Ghanaian government report.
Right.
This report was what was given to the FTI, the US private. Yes, this report was given to MIDA, MCC, and they gave it to the FTI because the Al-Qud people refused to hand over documents to FTI.
Right.
They made them read, but did not give them the documents. But this is the Ghana government report, which was dated, I think, 9th August, long before the FTI report came out. Why don't you publish it? And there are standing issues, especially the revenue side.
That's right.
Deal with it. I remember the finance minister indicating that the case, the fraud aspect and other things have been handed over to the CIA. What is the status?
So the NDC has been suggesting that whilst PDS took over the electricity management, they had collected in excess of 1.5 billion from consumers. They want an accounting for this by 1st of March 2019. 1st of March 2019 to October 2019. They want to have an accountability. Let's have a publication. How much did they collect in fact? And so on and so forth.
And in principle, I'm with them on that score.
Right.
You cannot be against it. It's a legitimate line of inquiry. But it is the responsibility of the incumbent administration to provide the answers. Okay? Provide the answers.
And this is a transaction that has led to Ghanaians losing the opportunity of 190 million US dollars.
Yes.
This was money that was supposed to improve our systems. But because we sort of misconducted ourselves somewhat, we have lost that money. They want somebody to answer for it.
Yes, and it's legit. Yeah. Okay, there are other issues that came up, yes, were dealt with. For instance, you have the $2.5 billion so-called Ken bond.
Yes.
We all know it was properly dealt with as well as the court, an aspect of it. Yeah. Okay, the Bogachi Ajako bribery allegation was dealt with by Parliament. Cash for seat was dealt. Yes, these are pluses. But there are minuses. And some of those minuses, perhaps if you were transparent and open about them, people's criticism might be minimized. So there is a challenge. It's not peculiar to this administration, but it is this administration that is in office now.
Right.
And the issues, some of which we are discussing, are current. Yeah. So it is incumbent on them. And this is very, I'm saying this on basis of conviction and conscience. To be honest with you, I don't think the fight has been that much effective. That's my candid opinion.
Very interesting, the